I'm so excited because it's time to write a brand new book. You wrote one about your family. I hope it's right here, still tucked nice and safely inside your writer's folder. Sometimes I call it Writer's Workshop folder. Okay? So in your book, in your folder, you should have that wonderful book you wrote about your family. You should also have your letter chart. And you know what? Everybody has at least one more blank book. I'm going to have more books for you in this pickup. Now I'm putting my folder away and I'm just keeping out the book. And we're going to make just the cover today. But we have to go through the rules. Okay? First of all, you are going to put 3 things on the cover of this book. What do you call the name of a book? Did you say it's the title? Then you're right. The name of the book is going to be the title. So we are putting the title of our book on here. We are also going to put the name of somebody else that's pretty important. The name of the author. Point to the author of your book. You know who the author of my book is? That's right, it's me. So it's going to be my name here. So title, author, one more thing. An illustration, which is a picture. An illustration is a picture, a drawing, okay? Now, eventually, you are going to be able to choose what you write your books about. But we're going to practice a few times with me deciding what you're going to write your books about. And you know, if you want to make books of your own at home, all you have to do is get some paper. I folded it and stapled it. You can make books anytime you want. You don't have to wait for me to tell you. But this is a book we're going to do together. And today I don't want you to open it. We are going to put all of our energy just into the cover of the book. There's a front cover and a back cover. We are going to write on the front cover today. So I'm going to put it up here on my board. And parents, you can give them an idea of which way to hold it. But if something happens and their book opens the wrong way, it is not a problem. It's fine. This whole writing books is very experimental. And in the classroom, I would not be giving them so much instruction. We would be able to have little conversations and I could nudge them along the way. And hopefully that will still happen. But whatever they put there is going to be okay. And I don't want them to do any erasing. I don't want them to worry about the details. Okay? So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to get out our pencils. Because any words or letters you write are done with your pencil. Now I am going to put a new word up on the board. You may know this word. The word is buy. Like Jan Brett. If we read her book, I would say Trouble with Trolls by Jan Brett. So on this book, we are going to put by Ms. Rudd. On your book, Lucas's, it's going to say by Lucas, or by Olivia, or by Maya, or by Xylexis, right? So the way we spell by, by, b-I. It's written different than it sounds, but we're going to start with a capital B. Pull down, jump up to the top, make 1 bump, 2 bumps. That's a capital B. The next letter, it sounds like I. There's a letter that makes that sound. It's a Y. And Y has no curved lines. We haven't practiced that one yet, but it's straight lines. They're slide letters, right? You start at the plain line and slide to the grass and then pick up your marker or pencil. Then you go over to this plain line again and you slide to the worm line. By. So I'm going to leave that there so you can copy it. But I am going to go down to the bottom of my book and I am going to write way over near the staples. B, capital B, Y. Okay? I wrote B-Y. The best I could. If I make a mistake, I'm not going to worry. And then who's it by? I'm going to leave space and I'm going to put my name. Very carefully. I want it to be big enough so that people can read it. And I also don't want it to be too big because I need to leave space. So if you're writing your name, it's okay to pause the video and turn it on when you're ready to go. Now we're going to work on the title together. Everybody's going to have the same title. It's going to have 2 words in it, okay? Everybody seems to have a Christmas tree at their house. When you've come to morning meeting, in some of your houses I can see it. So if for some reason if your family doesn't celebrate Christmas, that's okay. And you can do it about any kind of tree you want. I'm going to do it about a Christmas tree. But the title is going to be The Tree. How many words is that? The tree. 2 words. What's the first word? The. That's one of our sight words. Do you know how to spell it? Well, you could dig out your word ring. That would be a good thing if you don't know how to spell it. And parents, the more often you let them go and find it, dig for it, they're going to remember it more than if you say, oh, you know how to spell that. Okay? So, sure, go and get it. I'm going to write it up here for us. I'm going to start with a capital T. I pull down from the skyline to the grass line and across the skyline. T. It doesn't show so well, does it? Right. Then H, lowercase. Start on the skyline and go to the grass line. Trace up to the plane line and make a bump. And then we need E. That silly little E. It flies under the plane line, touches the plane line, and sits on the grass. The. What's our next word going to be? Tree. Let's tap it. Tree. T. R. E. Tree. T. It's a T. Very good. I'm going to make a lowercase t. Next to it is tr. That's right. It's an R. It starts on the plane line. Pull down. Trace back up and around. Tree. You know that. It says its name. E. It flies under the plane line, curves up to touch the plane line, and sits on the grass. And I'm going to tell you, it needs 2 E's to make that E sound. Flies under the plane line, curves up to the plane line, and sits on the grass. That's our title, The Tree. So now I'm going to write it right here with my pencil at the top. Capital T, H, skyline to grass line, trace up and make the bump. Under the plane line, curve up and touch the plane line, sit on the grass. Do you see how I'm saying it? You don't have to say it, but I'm letting you know the path my brain is taking to do it. Then I'm going to leave space, and I'm going to write tree. Sometimes my finger makes the space. Now I'm going to make a lowercase t. Skyline to grass line. I can move my finger now, and across the plane line. R starts on the plane line, down to the grass, trace up and curve. E, under the plane line, touches the plane line and sits on the grass. Under the plane line, touches the plane line, sits on the grass. What is the title of my book? Read it with me. The Tree by Ms. Rudd. Okay. The last thing we're going to do today is the picture. Now, if you choose to do a Christmas tree, that's fine. If you choose not to, you could do an outdoor tree. You could do any kind of tree you want, all right? But only one tree. It doesn't say the 3 trees, 1 tree. So I'm going to make a Christmas tree. And if you want to watch me, you can. I don't want you to make a whole bunch of other stuff, just the tree, okay? So my crayon broke, but you know what? It still works. So my stem in my tree, the trunk, I'm going to make it go all the way down like this. And I'm going to draw another line right next to it. And I'm going to color it in. Very good. So that's my tree. And let's see, a little green I think would be good. Oh, wait a minute. I think what I'll do is I will make the branches, because the branches on a tree, and a Christmas tree is really just a pine tree, isn't it? Now, boys and girls, you can make yours any way you want to. You do not have to make it this way. See what I've decided to do? I made the trunk, then I made the branches, and now I'm going back. And on all the branches, I'm going to make what they call the pine needles. The pine needles are like the leaves on another tree, right? Remember, the leaves are where the food is made for the tree. And pine trees are really cool because they stay green all year long. So they kind of make food for themselves all year long. Now, boys and girls, you do not have to make your pine tree this way. This is how I'm making my pine tree. Okay? And do it, all of it so carefully because I really want it to look kind of cool. See how it looks? I like it. Now, I'm not putting decorations on it. I'm not going to do any of that. We might later, but today we're just doing the tree. So please don't add a whole bunch of other stuff. Now, the one thing I do want to add is down at the bottom. Usually my tree kind of goes in a stand. So I'm going to make it, well, you can do it the way you want. I don't really have a stand like this. I have actually, you know what, I'm going to switch it. See, that's what I like about crayons. I can fix it. Mine actually looks like this, so I fixed it. I'm going to make like what I call a tree skirt. Did you notice? I'll pick it up in a minute. Did you notice that I did not color on my name? My name is pretty important. So ready? It says the tree. Did I use 3 or more colors? I did. By Ms. Rudd. It doesn't look like a Christmas tree, but you know what? We're going to work more on this tomorrow, okay? This was a short, but if you took your time, ooh, we're way over time. I'll talk to you tomorrow, boys and girls.